Hey guys, it's me, Barbarisi from the Bronx. I'm doing a lot better than I was the other day. I know I was like very emotional and whatnot, as I should have been. Let me go this way. I don't like people hearing my business. As I should have been. I know when some people hear that, they're like, no way, because, my mom is a wonderful woman and I love her with all my heart, and I really don't hold it against her that she's still with him, because my father did my mother dirty. And the truth is that I love my father with all my heart. My father's the only one who came to bat for me and my sister, and then me again. But my mom, she doesn't want to be alone. And you have to understand, she was a very traditional person in that sense, where she didn't want to be alone. She don't want to feel, and then financially she'd be struggling. I have to understand that, and I have to understand that I feel in a lot of way that, she made me sit, not made me, she would tell me to sit on his lap. I was 12. I lived there since I was 12 till I was 16. And when I was 16, I met my children's father, my older children's father, my 22-year-old and my 18-year-old kid's father. And I started to realize something ain't right with this picture. He moved out of the house and took me with him. I was 15 years old and actually got an apartment. Yeah, it was fucking sick, excuse my language, of course I get emotional. It breaks my heart, but like I said, I don't want to lie. I was a very promiscuous young girl because of the abuse, and like I said, that happens to some girls. Some girls, like my sister Dee Dee, get inverted, and not me. I was the opposite. And I remember when I used to rub his feet and stuff, he used to flirt with me, and he used to call me his little wife right in front of my mother, and I don't know why she didn't stop that. I think she was afraid. I think she couldn't believe what was going on. I think that she was so confused and hurt with my dad that she just blocked it out. She had to, because my mother's not a bad woman. She would do anything for anybody, and that's the truth. And I don't want anyone to feel any differently about her, honestly, because, like I said, even though she doesn't believe it happened, she knows it happened. Even though she's still with him, I know why she's still with him. Deep down inside, it burns. It hurts her. Excuse me, guys. It's a little chilly, and I'm going uphill, and I'm pushing the stroller. I know it breaks her heart, but like I said, in the long run, she just doesn't. She didn't feel like she can get anybody else, and I don't know why. 'Cause my mother is a beautiful woman. So there's that. Damn, these people be smoking weed, man. I don't do nothing. Like I said, I smoke a cigarette once a day. But, and I don't get out of breath from pushing the stroller. No, what happens with me is when the temperature drops, I have a hard time breathing in general. Plus pushing the stroller and plus talking. So that's why it sounds like I'm gasping for air, but in all reality, I'm good. Like, I can go uphill all day long and not have a problem. So, there's that. And maybe one day my mother, that's why I want to do something with my life. Something more, something meaningful. I want to help other people because I want to get my mother out of that situation. Like, if I can get 1,000 subscribers and monetize off the ads, people make a lot of money. They make a lot of money off the meds. And if I could do this and tell my story, which is an epic story, I won't have to worry. Like, there's people that have made, like, thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars off YouTube. They just get a lot of subscribers. You know, and I'm the type of person, like, if I make a lot of money, I will help everybody. And that's the truth. Like, I want to open a family, I'm in a family shelter, I said this before. And the way they treat people in there is horrible. And what I would do, if I was to get big, like Tana Mongeau, excuse me, I don't know, Tana Paul, you know, and she's entertaining. But, you know, it's a lot of it is, God forgive me, it's my opinion. A lot of it is funny, but a lot of it at the same time is kind of trashy, you know. And believe me, I'm no one to judge because, believe me, I lived in the worst of the worst and done the worst of the worst as far as that is concerned. You know, when she, you know, shows her privates and stuff in her butt. You know, not that I've done that, but when I was out there on the street, truth be told, you know, I had to do things that I regret. And that's the truth, and I'm not going to lie. You know, when you have a habit like that, you know, you do things that you would never, ever, ever think that you would do. And that's the truth. And I do, and I regret all of it. And by the grace of God, it didn't. You know, when I get stressed out, you could see it in my face. My face looked way different. Like, it just made me look run down or old. But I have an amazing way of healing. Like, you would never think that I was homeless all those years or think I did all those drugs. Like, if you looked at me when I'm, like, rested, drinking my water, cool, calm, and collected, like, you wouldn't, there's no way people believe it. They don't. And the thing is I want to help other people. That's the truth. I want to open a family shelter. Like, if this happens for me, I would open a family shelter and that helps the families. I would hire all the right people, buy a piece of land, and help families in need. And that's my goal. My goal is to write a book about my experiences. Excuse me.
Thank you, man.
Oh, no problem. You have a great night.
You too, Doc.
Love the dreads.
Thank you.
God bless you. You know, I want to help other people, and that's the truth. I want to help children too, you know, like the children in the family shelter, because there's a lot of children in this family shelter, and the truth is you could see that something's not right, and it breaks my heart, and I'm always like trying to, you know, talk to the kids, and they ask me, you okay? You know, I have thousands of toys. I give them toys if I can, if their parents, some parents don't allow it. You know, but you can tell a lot of people in that shelter because they just didn't pay rent because they're using drugs. And the truth is that I look down on that in a way, because if you're gonna put drugs before paying rent so your child has a roof over your head and use the system for that, then shame on the person. And shame, I mean, honestly, like I said, when I got pregnant on the street, I did not know, and it's the truth, that I was pregnant until I was 5 months. And I was so deep, I was so deep in the situation that I didn't have a way out. I just didn't have a way out. And I regret every minute of that part of my life. And I was wrong. And yes, I should be judged for it. Yes, it should be looked down upon. Yes, it should be frowned upon. Yes, I was a piece of shit for doing that. But it wasn't intentional. It was never intentional. Of course, why would I want to get pregnant in the street when I'm hooked on drugs? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? I love children. I love babies. I already went through such a horrific situation with my other children, losing them that way to domestic violence, and then my stepmother and my sister-in-law doing what they did, lying and telling me they were gonna help me, and actually getting together. You know what I'm saying? It was just, they were conspirators. They were. They worked together against me. And my father used to say, Nancy's jealous of you. Nancy's jealous of you. Jealous of what? She was an attractive girl. Why are you going to be jealous of me? Excuse me. Sometimes I gotta joke. Sometimes with these teeth, when I talk too fast, I drool a little bit. So excuse me. Hey, I gotta laugh sometimes, at the situation at hand. Even though it's nothing to laugh about. Laugh at me personally, not of the fact about my kids. Ooh, that had me on my face, begging the Lord, God, why did this happen? So yes, that is my goal in life, is to provide a better life for my child, to get back in touch with my kids and have something I could show them. Something I could show them that, look, this is mommy. Mommy's not a bad woman. Mommy had a very unfortunate life and situation that happened to me. Because, okay, so now we're going to go back to the other situation. So after that happened with Mike, okay, I wound up meeting George. Now, George, at first, seemed like a great guy. He was like the knight in shining armor. He was like the person that was going to save me from all this nonsense, from all this stuff that I was going through, And he was really nice at first. They usually are, right? Men, they're usually real sweet, real kind, oh, that's terrible what he did to you. I'm going to take good care of you, The problem with that is that me and him got along real good. But when he drank, he was a different person. And when he drank, he was abusive. So here it is, I went from all these other abusive situations, and I'm not the only one. Listen, my story, unfortunately, in that retrospect, is a dime a dozen, meaning there's so many women that are being abused. There are so many women that are being treated like crap because they're men alcoholics. Because, see, alcohol changes the person's mindset. It changes the way they think. It changes the way they handle things. It changes their motor skills. It just changes their speech. It changes their facial expressions. They become different. Now, there are two different kinds of drunks. Actually, three. There are functional drunks that can work and hold the job. He was not one of those. And then there's mean drunks and happy drunks. Well, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, he was not a happy drunk at all. He was a very mean drunk. So mean that when I was pregnant with my daughter, he would grab me and I'd fight him back, tooth and nail. And he would suffocate me and push my head into a bin of sharp toys. And I'll never forget it. He did it so many times. And then, when I was pregnant with my son, that was with my daughter, when I was pregnant with my son, JJ, my firstborn, he had an alcoholic problem so bad that I loved him so much and was so ignorant at the time and so blind that I used to pick up cans so he can have his fix of his alcohol. That is how loyal I am as a human being. Yes, that's how loyal I am. That I thought that I loved this man so much that I didn't care. That if I had to pick up cans to make him happy, that's what a girl did. That's what I did. And I was an effing fool. I would never do that. And I tell any girl that their man is abusing them to get away from them. You are worth more than that. Just like I told that girl the other day on the train, I said, listen, honey, I was you. That is my goal, to do stuff like that. I want to help these other girls that have been abused, that have been put through things. I want to help them. And I told her, I said, I was you. I said, you can get out of this. In the name of Jesus, by the grace of God. I think she took it into consideration, into her heart. And I think I sowed a seed. And I hope to God I see her again. Her name was Anna. And I hope, Anna, that you are doing well if you ever come across this video. Because you are a beautiful girl. Most of the girls that are out there are so, they have, but I'm like, how did these girls wind up like this? Like, a lot of people would tell me the same thing. I'm not tooting my own horn, But a lot of us deserved more with our lives. And it's there if you want it. So like I said, he was abusive. He used to hit me. He used to beat me. He used to belittle me. And it was the worst thing that happened to me because I lost my kids because of it. And then my family got involved. The wrong family took my kids in and gave them up. And then did it on purpose. And then when the right family members got involved, they called the services on them, children's services. And they had to give my children up too because of it. They'll get theirs. Well, the ones that did that to my kids, they will get theirs because my children, innocent little kids, like, come on, you made it like you were going to help me and take my kids in and say, oh, I don't want them, I'll dump them off at the friggin' precinct. Yeah, that's what Nancy did, my brother Jimmy's ex-wife. And she got what's coming to her because the kids don't even bother with her. So there you go. What comes around goes around. It's like a boomerang. And Nydia, she was the greatest. She took my kids in, and it is not their fault. My brother Anthony is not their fault. She caused a big problem for them, and they couldn't lose their own kids, and that is why my children were in foster care. And I wasn't allowed to see them for no reason. And then, I love my mother, but here it is. Mother living with a man who raped me is on Megan's list. But yet, but I was grateful because that was the only way I got to know where my kids were. That is the only way I got to know where they were. But guys, the video is getting long. I love all of you, and I will continue more on my life experiences and the things that I went through because it needs to be told. And I am strong, and I'm willing to help others, and that's what I want to do. And I love my son with all my heart, and I want to give him a better life. So if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please help me out. I'd appreciate it. I'm a humble person, and I would do anything for anybody. I'm Tara Barbarisi, and this is Barbarisi from the Bronx signing out. God bless you guys. Ciao.